Thank you.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Shake out and just relax. It's a lot of fun. You wrote the book, Little Caterpillar in Training. How in the world did you come up with that title?
Well, when I was a child, I was alone a lot. So when I'm alone, there is a spirit guide or a friend that I used to talk to in my head all the time because nobody else to play with. And when I was in trouble and I go, why am I going through all these changes? And he said, because you're a little caterpillar in training and you're going to be a butterfly one day. So that's how I came up with it.
What a beautiful story. I love that. You know, in reading your book, I noticed that you've lived an incredible life. Certainly one that you could probably write 3, 4, 5 books about. But our viewers want to know that are not familiar with your story. What is the book about?
My book is about me growing up in Japan right after World War II as a biracial child. And my father was a Black American and my mother is a Japanese person. And there were lots of struggles like prejudices and that I had to go through and how I managed through that. And also my stories are about little short stories about Japan, its history, and things that you probably would never read in a history book. So you get to learn a little bit about the Japanese culture, Japanese thinking, and also the transition. You know, before the war, Japanese didn't have much contact with outside people. So when the war, after the war, all these Americans, all these different blondes and blonde-haired people and dark-skinned people, they came in and it changed their mentality. So that's a little bit about that is also in the book.
I noticed in the book that your life wasn't an easy one, was it?
Well, it depends. I didn't particularly think it was hard at that time, but I guess from people looking outside, you know, when you're going through your life, you don't think of it. Mm-hmm. It's difficult. When I was growing up, I was told by my mind to live now, enjoy the time that you are right now. So every moment was important to me. I didn't particularly think it was hard.
Okay, because in reading that, I noticed that you especially had a tough time as a child. Could you tell us about that? And what kept you going?
Well, the Japanese felt that being dark was not appreciated because, see, in Japan there are different classes, and people that are dark work outside, and they're usually peasants or farmers, and they are until the end. I don't know why, because they feed everybody. But at that point, that's what it was. So they considered me ugly, that I would never be able to get married or have anything successful. My life would be successful, that no pure blood would want me. So I went through my life believing that I will never be successful, that I'm too ugly for anybody to want to marry me. And it took a while to change all that, but that when I was in Japan,
well, obviously they were wrong. The Japanese aren't always right, obviously. But when you were in school, how did the other kids treat you?
In school, I went to American school, to the military school during the elementary time. So it wasn't that much of a problem. And also during the junior high time, I went to international school in Japan. When I came to America, there was some trouble because my mother brought me to America to be with my people who were the Black people. And when I went to school, high school here, the Black people did not like me, or the Black kids, because apparently I was too light. I didn't realize in Japan I'm too dark, but for the Black people I was too light. And plus I was very Oriental, or very Asian, very studious, and they had accent, and they were not very friendly. I had to fight. And one time I had to fight, and I did a little karate kick to a girl. Then I became very famous in my school that I was now this quiet Japanese girl is dangerous. So,
do you know karate?
At that time I didn't know karate, but you have to understand, in Japan all you see is karate. See, if you're an American, you go like this, you box. But all I saw was karate, so when that girl came to me, I gave her a sidekick. And she fell. And it was I was very proud of myself, actually.
That's great.
But she was fine.
So is there any place you really felt welcome then?
No, I didn't in the beginning. I felt lost. I felt that I needed to be in my own nation, my own self. But that helped me to like myself, to appreciate what I look like, appreciate who I am. But that was only through high school. Once I graduated from high school, I realized that adults are completely different. They didn't care. They actually thought I was exotic and very different. So.
Well, I know that in the end, your story obviously is one of great triumph. The Japanese were wrong. You're far from ugly. You got married, had a child, became a very successful businesswoman. Of all the things you've learned, what is the one thing you'd like to share with us that's made a difference in your life?
I learned that if you only know one way, if you don't learn more, that you become one-sided, that you cannot expand your mind. Like my father said, curiosity didn't kill the cat, it made him wiser. So the more knowledge you have, the more wiser you become. And Japanese definitely prove that they have become wiser for the American to know the Americans.
Well, Grace, I thank you very much for taking this time, and we wish you luck with the little caterpillar in training.
Yes, thank you so much.